All right, welcome back to Market Day Report. I am Scott Shellady, otherwise known as the Cow Guy. Thank you very much for tuning us in. If you've been with us all day, that's different. That's even better, right? We try to make you stay. Let's take a look and see what these markets are doing because that's your money. Let's take a look and see what corn's up to today. We were up about 2.5 to 3 cents last time we checked. That's what we're doing right now. We're kind of stalled. We got a 5-cent range, 435 to 440 in May, and we're at 2.5 cents higher at 438.5. So penny and a half off the high and about 3.5 cents off the low. That'll give you an idea where we sit. That's corn. We'll go out to the new crop. D sets up 2 cents to 472 3/4. And that's a penny and a quarter off the high there, too. So that's corn for you. Right now, we'll take it. Let's go to the beans. The front three are down just a tad. The last two are up just a tad, right? So May's down a penny and 3/4. That's the worst one on the board. 11.86 is last, 5 cents off the low. We've had about an 11-cent range. You go out to the Novi New Crop. That's the best one. It's up 1 1/4 cents to 11.81 3/4, and that's 3 cents off of the high. We've had about a 9-cent range. So there you go. That's beans. If we move over to the wheat in Chicago, that's up 9 cents. That's the May board. 5.51 3/4 is last, and that's about what? Half cent off the high. We'll take that. That's 9 cents better. There you go. The July right behind it's up 9 cents. 5.66.5 is last there, and that's a tick off the high. So Chicago wheat, it's kind of healthy right now as we speak. Hard red in Kansas City. Let's move over there and see. That's a 9 3/4 cent gain in that one. That's May. 5.83.5 is last there. 2.5 cents off the high. And we've had a decent range of about 15 cents, 14.5 to be exact. And July is up 8.5 cents to 5.76 even. That's a penny off the high there. Let's move over to see what the spring wheat's got for us. That's Minneapolis, and that's a 6 3/4 cent gain in that May contract. 6.57.5 is last, and that's about a penny and 3/4 off the high of the day there. Let's go out to Dees and see what that's doing. 6 3/4 cents higher there to 6.86 3/4, and that is a new high. And look at that, March right behind it. That's up 6.5. Got a 7 in front of it. $7 evens last, and that is a new high as well. Let's see about cotton. Cotton didn't get the memo today. It's 203 points lower. 92.54 is last in the May. Go out to the Dees, that's 32 points lower. That hasn't moved. 83.49 is last there. All right, let's bring in our next guest analyst, Tommy Grisafi, Advanced Trading. Tommy, thanks for coming on the show, and hope everything's going well for you. All right, that was a mouthful, all those prices. Anything really jump out at you?
Yeah. Good to see you back. Yeah.
Good to see you.
Hey, I got to tell you a story about this hat. Can you see my hat?
Not really, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh, all right. It's from Peterson Farm Seed. One time I was out to dinner with my parents, and this older lady came up to me. She goes, "I don't appreciate you wearing that marijuana stuff out in public like that." And here it is. It's just a seed hat. So happy National Ag Day to those who don't understand where their food comes from or thinks it's from the grocery store. You got to plant the seed and see what grows, Scotty boy. Planting seeds, especially this, you know what you can't plant any more of? Crude oil seeds. Crude oil up $1, $83 crude. That's not something we just plant a seed and get a new crop every year. So you asked me what was on my mind. Crude oil's on my mind. Dow Jones up 300, and it's all about Nvidia, buddy. Jim Cramer from CNBC, he had the one of the founders and CEOs of Nvidia on. Just think about this. That guy's wealth P&L fluctuates $5 to $7 billion per day. So just imagine going to bed and saying, "Hey, I'm worth $5 billion more than I was yesterday when I woke up." That's how big this AI stuff is. So people want the stock market, commodities. Oh, sure, cocoa's going crazy. This one's doing that. Crude oil's doing that. It's all about the stock market. It's about the bond market, interest rates. You do a great job covering all that stuff on Cow Guy Close. And I'll tell you what, the Fed's got its back against the corner because we're coming into election year here, and their boss wants them to make Americans feel good, and you're not going to make Americans feel good. Now, with higher crude oil and higher energies and everything else, the price of the raw commodity came down, corn, wheat, and beans. But I've been to the grocery store, nothing came down on the shelf, Scotty. And once prices go up to the consumer, they don't usually lower them back down. So the person who's getting the short end of the stick here is the American farmer, because they're getting less for their goods, yet everyone else is charging more. Back to you, my friend.
That's very true. It takes a long time for things to come back down, if they do at all. All right, stay right there. We're going to go away. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to come back and talk more livestock with Tommy Grisafi. He's Advanced Trading. He's in Valparaiso. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Market Day Report. This is where we do the livestock, right? That's why I've got the jacket on. We might as well dive right in and take a look. Live cattle, let's bring that up. Not doing very much here today, folks. April's off 17 cents, 188.40. You go to the middle of the curve, the belly, that's August, and it's sharply unchanged at 184.35. And if we go out to the D's, that's where we're up a little bit, 30 cents higher there to 191.40. So that's what that curve looks like, not doing very much at all whatsoever. If we go from live cattle to feeder cattle, that's turned around a little bit here now, so we're higher, but not by much. There's not a lot going on. We've got an April board up 45 cents to 255.55, 35 cents off the high of the day, but we haven't really had that big of a range. You go out to, say, even the SEP's up 37 cents to 271.07. Then finally, let's take a look at lean hogs. They didn't get the memo. April's down 95 cents to 85.87, and then go to June in the middle of that curve. We're off $1.80 to 101.22. All right, let's get back to our guest analyst, Tommy Grisafi. We have 2 minutes, Tommy. What are your thoughts here?
Well, it concerns me, even though the stock market's on the high, it concerns me about these prices of beef. It's a problem for many. Beef's becoming, especially the fine cuts of beef, not burger, but the fine cuts are becoming something like when you and I were a kid, when you would yell like, "I'm going to Sizzler." Remember that, Scotty boy? When you're like, "I'm going to Sizzler." Ponderosa. Yeah. So it's food's expensive. Now, everything's expensive. Chicken, turkey. There are no bargains on the protein sale. And that's what people need, not only in America, but in the world. We need to really load up on high-quality proteins. And the word affordable and high-quality protein don't go together real well. I love the livestock sector, but I think they have some headwinds coming against them. When people are much more likely to pay their cell phone bill, people will lose their house before they won't pay their cell phone bill. That is a proven statistic. They're more likely to pay their cell phone bill and fill up their car with gas than they are to go buy high-quality meat. So I see some headwinds there, Scott. What do you think?
I think the last study I read said that something like 18 to 26-year-olds would much rather give up the right to vote than give up TikTok.
Very good. Scott, you've been a wonderful guest. Real quick before we go, we have 30 seconds left. Tell me what you learned in your travels to Nebraska. And thank you for letting me host Cow Guy Close.
No, it was great. We got to see a lot of folks in Broken Bow, Nebraska, and Holstein, appropriately named, Iowa. So it was fantastic. We got to see a lot of ranchers. That's cattle country for sure. A couple of great dinners and got in front of 350 people. So a lot of great fun and got a lot of good insight. But those folks are doing well. We just want to make sure that the American consumers can still handle the prices. That's what they're worried about. They just don't want to outprice themselves, the American consumer. Because, as you know, McDonald's came out and reported a few days ago, and even their CEO and CFO said, yep, we're seeing it. They're starting to trade down stuff. They don't have a lot of money left. So that's something that those folks are going to have to keep an eye on. All right, Tommy, really great to have you on. Thank you very much. Tommy Grisafi, Advanced Trading, Valparaiso, Indiana. Bring it back here to Music Row and hand it back to you.
It's nice that you get to travel like that and do those things and have Tommy here. He's always got your back.
I'm so honored that I could be a guest on his show. So,
I mean, it's turning.